Welcome to the Beyond the Vines podcast, where I interview local business owners in Sonoma County to highlight small business and grow our community. I'm your host, Amy Ahlers, a mom, realtor, and Sonoma County native, and I'm excited to connect you to some amazing people in this beautiful area that we call home. Welcome back to the Beyond the Vines podcast, where I interview local businesses in Sonoma County. I love being able to bring you the people behind these businesses so we can get to know them a little better and also spread the word about these businesses in Sonoma County. I'm here today with a good friend of mine, Natalie Damiano. Natalie is well known in the beauty industry here in Sonoma County, originally for microblading, but she also has a great new mentoring business up her sleeve that I would love to talk more about today. I'm so excited to learn more about how she got here, everything she did to be able to get to this point in her career, which did not originally start in beauty. And with that, I'd like to say welcome, Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here
Me
and that
too.
you made the time to do this today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So I would love to know more about you and how you got started in your career, because I know this is not where you originally started.
Yeah. So when I was young, I started in dental. I just kind of got thrown into it at 19, and then did that for many, many years and eventually got burnout within that job. I mean, I loved it for many years, but towards the end, it was just like, I cannot even look at another mouth or listen to another dentist. And so I transitioned into beauty, which still, when I think about it, it's surprising because it's never where I thought I would have gone. I was never into beauty. I didn't, I wore makeup and I tried to be dressed, I tried to dress cute and do all the things, but not how it is now.
Right.
And I just transitioned into it. It was what I call like my F it moment of like, I'm going to go try this and I'm going to see how it goes. And I signed up for a course and I just did it by accident. It happened on accident. Like there was not a plan in the beginning of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to hit these goals and I'm going to be this person. It was like, well, I just had a baby. I guess I'll try this. Like
that's a good time for a life transition, though. I think
sure.
Because you're trying to figure out your new life and how it all looks with a new baby and motherhood and all of that.
Yeah,
so that's amazing. I didn't realize the timing of it. And was this pre-pandemic, right?
Yes,
but like just shortly before, if I remember.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a little over 6 years. So yeah, I had a few years in before.
Before it all
hit the fan.
That's awesome. So you specifically got started in microblading. Can you explain what that is?
Microblading is a form of a semi-permanent eyebrow tattoo that mimics hair strokes. So micro, and it's a blade. So essentially, it is little cuts where you implant pigment into them, and once they've healed, it creates a little hair stroke. So it looks much more natural than your traditional like permanent makeup, brows, eyeliner, lips. It's not as intense. It fades much quicker, and it looks softer and more natural.
Yeah, I agree. Because you've done my brows before, and I'm way overdue to come back and see you. I'm
Overdue.
getting a little tired of coloring them in.
We're actually scheduling
Let's
you
do that before we leave.
go.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little tired of coloring them in. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're trying to get out the door, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm tired of looking at your brows like that.
They're not looking good. No, really. I feel like I got to look at the camera so everybody can see. They're not. I'm not doing my best on that. So
Don't
that's
worry.
awesome.
I will hook you up.
That's great. So, where do you do your where do you operate your business from?
Just downtown Petaluma. Okay. I'm inside of a salon suite space. So I've got 6 other suite mates that I work with. I'm the only one in there that does any permanent makeup or anything like that. And I just have a room and it's great. I love it.
That's
it's
a great
open
setup.
room, which is wonderful. So there's walls, but the ceiling is open. So I still have the buzz of the salon and everybody, but I can shut my door at the same time.
For some privacy when they're laying
For sure.
there.
Yeah, because it can be vulnerable for women to come in and have no eyebrows or, I see a lot of people that are in remission from cancer and they've lost their brows or, it's a therapy session
sensitive.
for a lot of people, and it can get pretty intense and emotional in there.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, it's vulnerable, so a lot of things come out that I don't think people expected. So
Interesting.
yeah.
That's a really good point. You
Yeah.
always say
It
that too
happens
for
a
like
lot.
hairstylists. They're always like, I'm basically a therapist. But on this end, yeah, I mean, that's a major part of your face structure. And
For sure.
And a lot of us were teens in the 90s, so we just don't have brows
Oh,
left.
that whole like Drew Barrymore, Gwen Stefani era definitely
Definitely
is
mess
like,
us all up.
for sure. And it's like guaranteed jobs for me. You know, it is like security. 100%.
You've got really good job security. Because
For
how long
sure.
does it last? 18 months, am I right?
12 to 18
12 to 18,
months.
okay.
Yeah, everybody's a little bit different.
Perfect. So you've got repeat clients, which is great.
Yes.
Great for your business, but also great for connection reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps me like not humbling. It keeps me hustling all the time because I do have to have like an influx of new clients all the time, every week. So I'm constantly promoting, hustling, and trying to find new people to come in because once I've seen you, I'm going to see you in a year to a year and a half or 4 years
If
with
I'm
your case.
awful about coming back in.
I'm on 4 years and 7 months and
I feel
3
like
days.
you maybe checked your database to see when the last time I was there was.
For sure. So I can't ever rest on that.
Right.
Because I'm in such a niche, you know, like I've got to. And that's part of the reason why I expanded and starting coaching and mentoring, because then that's another stream of income, another way I can connect with people and educate and move to the next step.
That's a great segue into what I really want to dive into a lot today, if you're okay with it, is I want to talk more about your mentoring. And it's Booked Out Beauty. Is that correct?
Yeah, Booked Out Beauty
Perfect.
business. Yeah.
I want to hear more about how that started and how you operate that.
So it basically started honestly with dental. Like anytime when I was with a patient and we had a phobic patient come in or a young patient or somebody who hadn't been in 20 years, and of course they're getting a lot of work done and they're so nervous, and then 6 months later, a year later, they leave confident, healthier, happier, better versions of themselves, and we hug, and it's this moment of like, you got me through this.
Wow.
So that's where I had that first like, oh shit, that's filling my cup.
Yeah.
Like helping them and seeing how much I've helped them. That's when I started to get that tingly, like warm feeling. And so when I transferred into the beauty industry, I wanted more of that. And I connected a lot more with each client because we get time to really get personal. And then I helped one girl, Amber. She was kind of stuck in a rut, I think she was a medical assistant or just in a position of life where she was not financially independent, just not happy. And I just said, why don't you do microblading? Like, what are you waiting for? Like, why wouldn't you do this? This is something you could start while still working another job. Why don't you do this? And we talked for months about it on DM, on text. And finally, she went to school and did it. And
That's amazing.
Was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe she did it. And now she's doing very well.
That's amazing.
She's running her business. She's doing all the things. And so that is really what sparked that, like, could I change and help somebody else's life? Like if I did it with her on accident, you know, like I wasn't, it just comes, it just was flowing, you know, the relationship was just happening, the connection was happening. And I just knew that's where I was thriving. That is like what I love at the end of the day. Yeah. For sure.
That's amazing that you're able to kind of, you know, like piggyback your business onto like even higher calling for yourself that you have to be able to help people out, help other women, other people to be able to start their own and have their own, you know, business freedom in that way. Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah. I knew that's where I wanted to be. And so I just started from there. And I have a program, and I spent a year building out this program basically. And we just went through, me and a branding girl and a girl that was helping me come up with pitches and captions and content. And we just did this business basically together. And she helped with all the branding and just ideas. I had the idea. She could get them all out on paper so that it made sense. Because I was just like, you know.
Yeah.
And everything is squirrel and all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great partnership that you're able to find that.
Yeah.
So is it like an online course that anyone anywhere can do?
Yes. So it's an online course. It's a 10-week course. There's 5 modules. And the biggest module is mindset.
Great.
Yeah. Because that's where it all starts. So
the doubt of your ability, the doubt of being able to run your own business.
Yeah. It takes, for me, it was easy to pivot. It was, I was scared for a minute, but then it was just easy to transition. It didn't seem like that big of a deal. Whereas I know that's not everybody's case. A lot of people are really scared to pivot or scared to change, where I constantly want to grow and change. And what can I do next? I don't ever want to be stagnant.
Yep.
I mean, it's just part of the OCD craziness.
I was going to say, I can relate so much to that. I think
Yeah.
I've got that same, you know, the OCD and all of that going on, but also like the decisiveness. Like I'm like, okay, here's like this podcast, for example. I think I texted Sean on like a Wednesday and I was like, I know what I want to do for my podcast and I want to get it started. And like, I think we were recording by Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, here's my title. Here's what it's going to be about. Let's do this. Like,
yeah.
We're very decisive.
Exactly.
But I see it a lot in real estate too. Not everyone has that trait. You know, somebody will decide they want to buy, you know, the first house they see and it feels good and they're ready to rock, and other people need to look for years.
Yeah.
And so it's working with different personalities, and it's so great to be able to do that.
Yeah. We bought a house this year.
Yes.
As soon as I saw that house,
You
I
knew.
knew it was ours. And we got rejected the first time. We actually he didn't even respond.
Yeah.
I feel like he was offended by our offer. He didn't even respond. But I still knew. I was like, this is our house. Like the intuition, the drive, like I just wholeheartedly knew.
That's amazing.
And then within, I think 6 months, we were moving in.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So
what a great story.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And to be able to share your ability, I think, with other people who don't necessarily have that skill to be so decisive in that way.
Yeah. How do you, that is the biggest not setback, but that's my biggest challenge is how do I change somebody to be driven like that when they're not fundamentally like that, when they're not born that way, they don't necessarily have that drive, they do it a little bit and then pull back. How do I channel that into somebody? That's like my biggest, like how could I get you unstuck?
The psychology of that. Do you think a lot of it's confidence based?
I think a lot of it is confidence, but also just willing to fail and willing to try new things.
Yep.
I did not grow up confident. I did not, you know, like I just got that way. The older I got, the better I got at things, the harder I tried, the more confident I felt in them. Yeah. You know? Yep. Like very confident in dental, very confident in brows. And now I'm venturing into this mentoring and maybe podcasting and getting on Instagram and all of that. And I'm not confident in it yet. Right. But I'm still doing it. Yes. I still show up because I have to. Yep. There's no other way for me to go.
I think that's such a good way to look at it. It's like the overthinking, all it's doing is delaying it. Yeah. You know, it's just dive in and it's not going to be perfect the first time. And then you can tweak as you go.
I'm just winging it half the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like
that's absolutely.
What do I got to lose? You know, like, and it's just working out.
Yeah.
It's working out for me. Like I feel confident in that. You know what I mean?
That it's going to work out.
Yeah. There's no other option. Yep. And if I fail, then I'll evaluate, redo it, and go to the next.
And be ready for the next step of it.
Yeah. What else can you do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back to dental. That's for sure.
Are you sure you're done with mouths?
I'll educate people on oral hygiene and health, but that's
while you do their brows.
I don't want to do a filling anymore or do sterilization. No way. Yeah.
How do you market your booked out beauty business, the courses?
Everything is online.
Okay.
Word of mouth, online. Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I just launched an ad last week. Constantly on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, going on not lives, but recording and then posting that. I just did a podcast a few weeks ago talking about it. I'm here talking about it. Yep. I just am a blabber. Like I'm willing to talk to anybody who will listen. about what I do, and hopefully I'm being taken serious, and hopefully I can change somebody's life and help them be better.
Right. Well,
I had plenty of mentors. Like, I
Right.
believe in it.
Right.
I had mentors growing up. I've had therapists most of my life. I have mentors now, people
Yep.
that I pay, people I don't.
Yep.
So if it's working for me,
Yep.
it's going to work for other people.
Well, and I think like you're saying with in your terms, blabbing, which
Yeah,
I love.
yeah.
I think you attract
technical term.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
technical term, blabbing. I think you attract the people that are going to connect with you though anyway. So as
100%.
long as you're going to attract the people that want to work with you. They're going to thrive working with you.
Yeah, and I've definitely had those moments of like, should I be different? Should my
No.
aesthetics be different? Should I try to soften my voice?
Right.
Should I, all these things? And the answer is no. My
Right.
people are going to come,
Yep.
and this is who I am, and that's it.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm foul mouthed, I'm direct, but
Right.
I have empathy and I'm kind, and I just want to help people be better and feel better about their lives and whatever they're doing.
Well, your social media game, like you're amazing, by the way.
It's a hustle.
It's a hustle, but
Yeah.
you're doing a really good job
Yeah,
at it.
thank you, thank you.
So, I mean, that always catches my eyes, your
Yeah.
videos. So it's
Good,
great.
good.
Yeah, they're
I'm
working.
glad to hear it.
They're
Yeah.
working. I recently
Good.
took a class more about like YouTube shorts. So I don't know if you
Yeah.
dived into that at all, but we should chat
I
about
have
that
not.
too.
I'd love to hear
Yeah, apparently
what
it's
knowledge
the game
you
changer.
have.
I'm
Yeah,
still learning, but apparently that's the game changer. So we
Yeah.
should chat about that.
definitely.
Where do you see your business going? Do you see like continuing to grow both businesses? Do you like see somebody else working for you in Browse while you take over, a bigger role in Booked Out Beauty? What do you think the future
I think
looks
I
like?
would love to pivot into coaching and mentoring
Yep.
full time.
Yep.
So I would love to have somebody come in that I could hand my clients off to, that I helped and that I felt really confident with, that I
Right.
knew, because I do care about these clients. I mean, a lot of clients become friends or personal people to me. We text, we reach out, we cry together, we laugh together, we talk about music or life experiences. And so I wouldn't feel comfortable just being like, I'm closing my business,
Totally.
figure it out. So I would love to eventually transition into that
Yep.
and hand these people off to somebody I know, love, and trust, and then explore more of personal development.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't even think the beauty part will last all that long. I think what I'm pulling towards is personal development
Yep.
in business and life and who you are, male, female, children, youth.
So life coaching, essentially.
Essentially, yeah. But the new era of that, because I don't, the term life coach, I
Right.
think is played out.
Yes.
And personal development.
There we go.
Personal growth development, anything like that. It's where I see myself going. I
love
see at the end of the day that I should teach what I know and give it away.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I could definitely see you.
That's my goal.
completely in
That's
that
my
direction.
hopes. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. What advice do you give to like your newer clients that are looking to get started in this industry?
I think my best advice with them is don't give up and just keep hustling. I think a lot of people, especially microblading, they get into it. They think it's going to be this fun thing and it's going to be easy and you can make a lot of money. But when your teacher is gone and you're by yourself and you
Right.
have to cut somebody's face, that scares people.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
I can't imagine. Truly.
Whereas I already felt confident because of dental in that regard. Like I was very confident with people,
Yes.
chairside with people, explaining to people and making them feel comfortable when they're uncomfortable.
Right.
So I had that, like a huge part of why it was a good transition is because of the dental, for
Right.
sure, hands
Right.
down. And I remember, I think I went to school with 8 or maybe 10 girls, and there's only 2 of us doing it.
Wow.
And that was just this one course by
Yeah.
this one trainer. So imagine all the other people, because they think, oh, I'm just going to pay 2, 3, 4 grand for this class, and I'm just going to start. New clients are going to come in, and I'm going to be, making 6 grand a month or whatever,
Right.
and it's just going to be easy, and it's not.
Does the class teach you specifically just microblading skills, which is obviously so hard, or do they go into the business side as well?
Just the skill, just
Interesting.
the clinical skill of it.
Yep.
Sterilization, like health and safety. You have to take a bloodborne pathogens test because you create bloodborne pathogens when you cut the skin. And so, no, that's all they teach you. I mean, maybe I got certified over 6 years ago, so maybe now they've incorporated a little bit more of like social media into it. But when I took the course, no, there was none of that.
Clinical. I almost wonder if you could build on that at all for people that are freshly coming out of there. They've got the skills to microblade, or any beauty industry for that matter, coming out of beauty school.
Well, that's part of my program.
Yeah.
It talks
So
about branding, social media. Yeah. That is basically, you've got the skills to do the service. Now what?
That's fantastic.
Now what do you do? How do you pay yourself? How do you know when to be an LLC versus an S corp? Or
huge.
how do you know how to or post on social media? You know, all of that is on there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Gosh, what a great program to have for people to reach out to, because it is. It's like, you know, you're done, and then now what?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
So anybody who's listening, this would be a great course if they're
For sure.
just getting into it.
For sure.
So that's wonderful. Do you contribute to our local community or any causes in any way?
Local community, yes. So me and a few friends have started just recently, like basically like a roundtable group, like a beginner's mastermind, local business people. Let's talk about what's working, what's not working. How can we network? How can we give referrals? Like, hey, I've got a great person who does that. You know, just straight networking, troubleshooting. We've started that. A lot of donations for like my kids' schools, whether it's a microblade or a powder brow or an eyeliner or anything.
What's a powder brow?
A powder brow is like my brows. So it's a more all over color brow, as opposed to microblading, which is hair strokes. So mine is more of a full coverage look versus hair strokes are a more natural look.
Got it.
Yeah.
I bet all the moms are bidding on those at the school auction.
Yes. Yeah. So things like that. I was just speaking with the wife of a principal of my old high school and going in to talk to them and their students about, you know, how much I grew in this school and how important education was. It didn't really click in for me until about 12th grade. So, you know, like.
I think that's most.
Yeah, but it's just transitioning into a smaller school, which is where I ended up graduating from, and how much that helped me.
Yes.
And so it's those types of things I definitely like and enjoy doing. Again, that just falls back on me kind of mentoring and connecting with people.
That's so great.
And like you guys were doing Halloween, trick-or-treating downtown.
I love that.
Volunteering for gridiron football. I coached last Saturday.
Did you coach?
I don't even know what I'm doing.
My stepson's in tackle now. We're missing flag a little bit, but I'm trying to be back in flag.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Season.
No, my husband's the coach, but he was gone, so I just had to wing it. And I was awesome. Okay, let's do some jumping jacks and throw the ball and run. And
I would be like, we're going to do yoga today.
Yeah, exactly.
A little Pilates. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah. No, we just winged it.
That's great.
Like anything else.
You do what you got to do.
Just figure it out.
That's great.
Yeah.
What are some challenges you faced as a small business?
I would say growth for sure. Pandemic obviously was huge. Getting shut down was huge. And that was definitely a setback.
Yeah.
I think the only great thing is when we opened back up, there was a boom. Because once you tell people they can't have something, they want it even more.
Oh, yeah.
So that was, you know.
That's a good point.
I think that was a bittersweet kind of thing. But I would just say that was my biggest setback.
Right.
Other than that, just building.
Yeah.
Keeping referrals consistent, keeping those relationships up. I spent a lot of time marketing my business. Yeah. In Petaluma, in the town that I have it in, going to different stylists, different nail salons, different business owners, saying, this is what I do, you know, this is where I work. Do you want a discount? How can I get, people to come in? How can I get your referrals? same thing you do.
Yes.
Here's a gift basket.
Yes.
Don't forget who I am, like.
Let's start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
How can you network? It's
Yes.
just networking.
The
It's
reaching.
relationships with people.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a big challenge.
Oh, for sure. And I think putting yourself out there. And again, I'm a person who is more comfortable doing that, but I know that that is a big setback and a challenge for a lot of people is to just put it out there consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any like memorable success stories that you want to share?
I think I've had client success stories and then financial success stories.
I want to hear both.
Like when I can remember, I think I made like in the beginning like $5,000 in 1 month, and I was
That's
like,
so awesome.
"Oh my god!"
How many brows did you have to do? Do you remember?
I do not remember. a lot, because back then I wasn't charging as
Totally.
much. Like in the beginning, you're just trying to do anybody.
Yep.
You're doing all grandmas.
Yep.
People with low expectations. And you're charging $200, $250, $300.
Yes.
And I can remember I had a small job before I quit working while I was pregnant, and I worked another random car job. And the guy who ran that business was a total mentor for me. He had so much wisdom and guidance, and he was so driven and high energy, and he made great money, and he just was all the things I wanted to be. And so we spent hours in the car together driving around doing this job. And I can remember calling him being like, John, guess what? I just made $3,000 or I made $5,000, so there were financial goals. I hit 10K this month.
So cool.
Oh my God.
So
Taking
cool.
a small little class,
Yes.
It's being financially independent. That was the game changer for me. That's where I was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
This can be a whole, this is a whole new thing that I didn't even know existed,
Yeah.
And then with clients, I've had clients call me that are in remission from breast cancer or this cancer. They've lost their eyebrows. I had a client probably a month ago call me on a Tuesday night and said, I just got diagnosed this morning. And the oncology nurse said, get your eyebrows done immediately because when you don't have eyebrows, that's what really is going to make you look sick, or that's what's really going to hit you hard.
Wow. That's amazing advice.
Oh, and I was like that. Kudos to that nurse. So, because once you start chemo, you can't do it.
No.
You're compromised, way too compromised. And so I was like, when do you want to meet? You tell me.
Great.
If you need to meet Wednesday at midnight, I will be here. To be part of that journey for you when your whole life is about to change.
Yep.
I want to be part of
You're gonna
that.
make me tear up.
Well, it's and so it's those clients where it's like, this is why I'm doing that. I'm part of your story. You're hitting a rock bottom.
Yep.
And I'm part of the way that you can feel a little bit normal and feel a little bit feminine and beautiful still. Because you're going to have moments when your hair starts falling out or whatever where you're not going to feel great.
And you're not going to feel like yourself anymore.
Yeah. So I just tattooed the shit out of her
That's
eyebrows.
Great. She's ready. She's ready to take it on.
Yeah, and I messaged her a few days later. She was feeling great.
Good.
She started. Yeah, she sent me a great picture of her in chemo, and she had socks on that said cancer. And she's like, my brows.
And her brows are probably looking fly.
Yeah. And so I just that to me is one of the biggest feel good moments. Well,
and she thought of you in that moment. I need to connect with Natalie and share this really special time.
Yeah, and to pick me out of there's other people around here. I'm not the only one who does this. So I felt very honored to be a part of that with her.
Absolutely.
And the women who come 4 or 5 years after and they barely have any eyebrows, and then I give them eyebrows and they get emotional. I'm like, oh my God, who am I? I'm nobody special.
You are, though.
And here they are, we're crying together, It's
those are life-changing moments.
For sure. And that again, when I had those moments in dental, that's where my heart is beating. That's that soul-led purpose right there. And that's what I want more of.
Yep.
That is what I want more of.
I'm so glad you found that too.
I know.
That's amazing.
And again, it's like happening by accident.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that feels good. I'm going to go there more.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
It's just how it's working out.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any funny moments that you can share? Like any, like,
people are crazy. Let me
I
say
need to
that
know
again.
more.
People are crazy. Women can be so crazy about that. I had a lady last week. She counted the hair strokes. And she said, how come I'm only like right in front?
Oh my gosh.
There's 6 here that I see, and then there's not as many I see over here. And I was like, get out.
Wow.
Get out.
Well, and also, if we're trying to be realistic, I'm pretty sure I don't have the exact same number of eyebrow hairs on my brows.
Are sisters, not twins.
I like
So let me say that again. They
Okay.
are sisters, not twins.
There you go.
And the majority of people
Right.
are. But
Right.
then when I get like an artist or somebody who's
I see.
OCD or attention to detail, or maybe thinks like, these are going to be flawless and I'll never have to touch my eyebrows again.
see.
When in
Okay.
reality, that's
You
not
still
how
are gonna have
everybody's
to do,
different.
yeah.
Everybody heals different.
Yep.
I have no idea how you took care of your brows after.
Right.
Like I gave you everything and told you everything, but did you listen?
Right.
And so there's always those kind of out to lunch people, but that's just part of the job.
Yes.
And again, I had those people in dental.
Yeah.
I probably have more crazy stories from dental than I
you
do eyebrows.
from the beauty industry. That says
because
a
people
lot.
choose to come see me,
Yes.
whereas in dental
Right.
they
you
have
just
to
happen
go.
to be their hygienist.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
but no funny moments
Bloopers.
that like.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody with botched eyebrows.
lots of botched
Oh,
eyebrows.
see, I want to know that
lots
stuff.
of botched eyebrows. But there's some I can fix
Yeah.
and some I can't.
Yeah.
So
they come into you botched, needing some help.
yeah, if anybody calls me and says, oh, I've had them done before, they have to come in the salon first
Yeah.
so that I can see them, because I've had some people come in where I can't do anything about it. And then
Right.
I've wasted their time and my time by filling that
scheduling an appointment.
Yeah, so everybody comes in for a consult. And there's some really sweet people that I really wish I could. I had 2 sisters last week. Oh, it was awful. They had tattoos from the 90s. They were uneven. They were
wow.
like black.
Yeah.
And, just the way people used to do things. Yeah. And
the permanent
so
makeup.
they didn't know. And
Yeah.
I can't, there's nothing I can do about that unless I get them removed. And I think in the beginning, I would try to help people. But the more skills that I gained and the better I got, I realized I don't want my name.
Well, that's the thing.
on
It's your
that
brand
work.
literally
Oh.
on people's faces.
That's what I tell people. I'm literally tattooing my name on your face. It has to be almost freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be
That's where your OCD kicks
spot
in.
on. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
there's that happens.
Oh, that's
there's
so
some
hard.
botch stuff. And
Yeah.
I feel so bad.
Well, I was
going to
say, knowing you want to be able to help them.
For
and you
sure.
can't. Yeah.
Because there's some old techniques where I'm like, oh, you've got pink eyebrows or red eyebrows.
because
or
the way it
orange.
fades, or
Yeah, or the person chose too warm of a color. So too
you're
orangey
you're
of a
very
color.
good about color.
Yeah.
too. So that's
And
probably
if people fade cool or grayish, that's very easy to cover versus the opposite, which is warm. That's hard to cover.
okay.
People
You're speaking
naturally
another
have some
language
gray
to me right now.
eyebrows. They don't naturally have
That
red
makes sense.
eyebrows.
That makes
You know what I
sense.
mean?
Wow.
It's just basic color wheel theory, basically. Like this color and this color makes this color.
Got it.
So if somebody comes in with gray eyebrows, like old, faded, ashy, cool
You
eyebrows,
can fix that.
I can just go over it with orange and they turn brown.
Ah.
If somebody comes in with pink orange, I can go over it with green and it turns
This
brown.
is like magic.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And as long as they're somewhat even, I can work with it.
Okay.
But when they come in,
Oh man, that's terrible.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. And there's removal services, but they
that's
take
a
a
good
long
point.
period of time or they're
Okay.
really expensive.
Okay.
There is a business in Petaluma that just got certified with a face laser that could remove
Oh.
tattoos on the face, so it's safe, but it's a very high price point.
I'm sure.
So I'm trying to work with them to have them come down because I feel like I could just
Because
feed
if you
them
could partner
clients all day.
exactly.
But nobody's going to pay $900 for one service.
That's awful. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll pay $1,000 if it's guaranteed to be gone.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. But repeating that $900.
Yeah, it's not going
hard.
to happen. We just don't have the market for that.
No, definitely not. Oh, that's really hard. Getting a little off business. What are 3 fun facts about you personally?
Oh, 3 fun facts about me personally. UFC fan.
Didn't know that.
UFC fan.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, you probably already know this, but I'm an exercise and fitness junkie.
Yep.
I am a total gym rat.
Yep.
I love working out. Like, it is my drug of choice.
Absolutely.
I have to. I don't drink alcohol, which I feel like, you know, but I always feel like people are like, whoa, you don't drink?
Yeah,
why?
totally.
What's wrong with you? Well, I just enjoy feeling good.
That probably is hard when you're out, or do you get like, are you pregnant?
I don't care.
You know?
No,
yeah,
and I
you
think
don't
at this
care.
point, most people know that part, which I guess doesn't answer your question. But, you know, I feel like I'm going to be 41 next month.
Right.
Or next week.
Oh, happy early birthday. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be your birthday.
Yeah. And I noticed the older we all get, the less people are drinking, or the more they're realizing that it makes them feel crappy, or they're less motivated, or they just don't. It takes them 3 days to get over like a party night.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that's becoming like a good trend in a way.
Absolutely.
Like Sober October. I think people maybe took it a little too far during the pandemic, and now are, you know, making sure that doesn't carry over into regular life.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a hard thing for a lot of people. I think a lot of people abuse it. Unbeknownst to them, they don't even realize that it's happening or that it's an issue. So I've just noticed with my friend groups that a lot of them are pulling back from a lot of drinking. More fun facts? I don't know.
You got some cute kids. That could be a fact about
I mean,
you.
they're okay.
They're pretty good.
They're cool.
They're pretty good.
They're good.
You'll keep them.
They're good sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like to ask at the end, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to that's been really helpful in your career?
I'm a self-made woman.
No, I'm
kidding. No, I'm kidding. No. A lot of people have helped me out. I would say in the beginning, my 2 biggest supporters, Lindsay Sutton, Still Skincare.
Great.
And Josh, her husband.
That's wonderful.
Who owns Crown Hair Salon.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, this is a good shout out for them. They were
in my corner. They were like, yes, you should do this. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you should go to school. You should do this. And they started just feeding me clients.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then from there on, I just continued to build relationships with other hair salons. Also, Rachel Nixon, who owns Sacred Hive now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know the location. I don't know the
her. So I moved in with her at Urban Elements before pre-pandemic. And the game changed. Yeah. Once I pivoted into a salon, that was like
that makes sense.
Changer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Referrals just started flowing in. So she was also a huge referral base for me.
That's fantastic.
And all those women in it. And so from there, it was just growing my network with people. But I would say those 3 people within the beauty business really helped me get my name out there.
I love that they're local like salons here in Petaluma that really had your back. That's great.
That's where I started. You know, that is where I had to go out and rep my business and do all of that. And it's just gone from there. And then there's certain stylists where I've done their eyebrows and 5 people call me the next day that they've referred me to. Or, you know,
great.
My old esthetician, Laura, she, Skincare by Laura in Petaluma, she helped too. She was a great mentor with business.
Oh, that's what's
business
really
side
key,
of
I think, when
things.
you're first getting started.
For sure, because in the beginning, I'm just making money. I'm excited. I'm not saving. I'm not doing anything. Nothing.
Your taxes and
I'm
all your...
just excited about doing this and making some money.
Totally.
And so there were certain people for sure, like the old job I had with cars, like he was a mentor too. So there's a lot of people, like it takes a village. Yeah. I feel like.
Bits and pieces of different people that help build your business. Yeah.
Absolutely. But for referrals in Petaluma, those 3, especially Josh and Lindsay in the beginning. I mean, they were like repping me hard.
That's so great.
And just continuing to be like, you can do this, you can do this. And they still do to this day.
That's so great to have that support.
Yeah. Oh, it takes a village and it's so nice to have that community with people. I wouldn't be where I am without all of that.
But I think it's also reciprocated because you have that personality where people do want to support you and help you. You draw people in, you're caring. Like people want to go out of their way to help you for that reason.
Yeah,
so that speaks to them, but also it speaks to you.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Where can my listeners find you? Where are you located?
I'm located downtown Petaluma, Ava Lane Salon Suites.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. My website is nataliedamiano.com. You can find me on Instagram under No Shade Microblade.
Love that.
Facebook is just my name, Natalie Damiano. Somehow I have 3 Facebook pages. Not really sure how.
We're still learning.
Yeah. You could just search my name. Google page, Yelp page, all of that.
Great.
So call me, text me, however. I'm available.
Wonderful.
You can find me through Amy.
I was going to say, and I'm going to put all of this links in the show notes for you so that people can find you.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for
teaching
having
us more
me.
about you. This is great.
Yeah, I know this isn't like your normal topic, but I appreciate it.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
I love mixing it up.
too.
I want to represent all kinds of businesses in Petaluma.
Same.
So that's
I
so
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
listening.
If you like what you hear, please be sure to like and subscribe, learn more about Sonoma County and all that we have to offer here.